Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so you've sent in some really interesting material. Focus on something many people grapple with. How not to make a herniated disc worse.
That's right. It's a common concern.
Okay, so our goal today really is to break this down. We want you to walk away with practical knowledge, feel a bit more in control.
Exactly. And we've been digging into insights from Dr. Dwayne Chioda. He is a physical therapist over at Valley Rehab Physical Therapy in Mount Vernon, Washington. And he's pinpointed 5 pretty common mistakes people make that can really aggravate a herniated disc, things you might not even realize you're doing.
Right, and that's what this deep dive is about. We're not just going to list them off. We'll get into the why behind them, give you some real actionable stuff.
Hopefully a few aha moments.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it like a shortcut to really understanding how to manage your back better. Okay, so let's jump in. First mistake, sitting with bad posture.
Well, this is a big one. Dr. Chioda really gets that, modern life involves a lot of sitting. It's almost unavoidable.
Oh, totally. Desks, cars, couches, even dinner tables. It adds up.
It really does. You're sitting for hours, often without thinking about it.
It's almost our default, isn't it? So why is this so bad for a herniated disc? What's the mechanism?
Well, Dr. Chioda points out that when you sit, especially slouching, it increases pressure on your hips and, crucially, your lower back.
Oh, okay.
And it's often uneven pressure. That's what really irritates an already vulnerable disc.
Gotcha. So it's like squashing one side of that little cushion between your vertebrae.
That's a good way to think about it, yeah. Those spinal discs are like cushions, and bad posture compresses them unevenly. Puts stress exactly where you don't want it.
Okay, so what can people actually do? I mean, we still have to sit.
Right. So Dr. Chioda gives some very practical advice. He suggests trying to sit more upright, not like military straight.
Right, not super rigid.
No, just avoiding that deep slouch, being more aware.
Okay.
And he mentions the simple trick, using a rolled up towel or one of those lumbar support pillows against the backrest.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those. Do they really help?
They do, because they help maintain that natural inward curve in your lower back, the lumbar curve.
Right, stops you from rounding forward into that C shape.
Exactly. It helps distribute the pressure much more evenly across the discs, makes a real difference.
That's such an easy thing to try.
It is. But Dr. Chioda also stresses that even with good posture, sitting still for too long is, it's the enemy.
Right. Static positions are bad.
Absolutely. So his advice is, if you start feeling tired of sitting upright, which, let's be honest, happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Then stand up or take a short walk. Just change the position. It's not about holding one perfect pose all day.
It's about variety, incorporating movement.
Precisely. Small adjustments, frequent changes, that can really reduce the strain. It's something to think about. How often do you check your posture during the day?
Uh-oh. Probably not enough. Okay, so that's mindful sitting. Let's move on to the second mistake. Avoiding movement because of pain. This one feels tricky.
It does feel counterintuitive, doesn't it? Your instinct when something hurts is to just stop moving. Lie down, rest up.
Totally. That's definitely been my first thought before. Just immobilize it.
And Dr. Chioda gets that. It's a natural protective response. But here's the key thing he points out.
Okay.
While some initial rest might be needed, prolonged inactivity, like total bed rest for days, can actually make the pain and other symptoms worse.
Really? Okay, that is an aha moment. So resting too much is bad.
It can be, yes. He mentions research showing that gentle movement is actually beneficial. Things like light walking or some specific core exercises, they can help relieve pressure on the disc, not increase it.
How does that work? Moving helps relieve pressure.
Well, think of your discs like little sponges. When they're compressed for a long time, nutrients kind of get squeezed out. Gentle movement helps pump fluid back in, reduces stiffness, improves circulation around the area.
Okay, that makes sense. Like rehydrating the sponge.
Sort of, yeah. And Dr. Chioda has a suggestion for where to start if you're hesitant because of pain. He recommends starting very gently. Focus on stretches designed for spinal mobility. Nothing aggressive.
So not trying to force anything, just encouraging movement.
Exactly. It's about preventing that seizing up, improving flexibility carefully. So even though it hurts, finding the right kind of controlled movement can actually be your ally.
Finding that balance, then, between rest and safe movement.
That's the sweet spot, which leads us nicely into mistake number 3, Dr. Chioda points out, doing the wrong kind of exercises.
Oh, okay. This follows logically. You think, right, movement is good, But then you accidentally choose something that makes it worse.
Precisely. You have good intentions, but the exercise itself might be putting more stress on the exact spot you're trying to heal.
So what kinds of exercises should people be cautious about, especially early on?
Dr. Kyoto specifically flags things like aggressive sit-ups or crunches,
Oh, yeah.
certain types of leg lifts, especially if your form isn't perfect, and heavy lifting with barbells, particularly movements that really compress the spine.
Like heavy squats or deadlifts, maybe?
Yeah. Potentially, yes, especially if done too soon or improperly. These movements can create high compressive forces or even shearing forces across the discs.
Which is exactly what you want to avoid with a herniation.
Absolutely. We're looking for exercises that support and stabilize, not ones that load or compress the vulnerable area excessively.
Wow, so you could genuinely be trying to get better through exercise and inadvertently be setting yourself back. That's crucial info.
It really is. It's about being smart with your choices.
So what should people focus on instead, according to Dr. Kyoto?
He emphasizes core strengthening and spinal mobility exercises again, but the key is choosing ones that don't strain the discs.
Okay, and when he says core strengthening, what does that really mean in this context? Is it about getting a six-pack?
Not necessarily. It's more about engaging those deeper abdominal and back muscles, the ones that act like a natural corset or brace for your spine.
Ah, the stabilizing muscle.
Exactly. So think gentle core engagement exercises like planks or bird dog done correctly, and controlled movements that promote flexibility without putting direct pressure on the discs themselves.
That's a really important distinction. It's not no exercise, it's the right exercise for your situation. Okay, let's move to mistake number 4. This one sounds serious. Ignoring major signs.
Yes, this is where Dr. Kyoto really stresses listening closely to your body's warning signals. Don't just push through everything.
What are these major signs we should be watching out for?
He clearly identifies things like numbness, or that pins and needles tingling sensation,
Okay.
or shooting pain that actually radiates down into your legs. Not just back pain, but pain traveling downwards.
Those definitely sound more alarming than just a localized ache. What's happening when someone feels those things?
According to Dr. Kyoto, these symptoms often mean the herniated disc might be pressing directly on a nerve root in your
A
spine.
nerve compression. Okay, that sounds bad.
It can lead to more significant problems if it's not addressed. You don't want ongoing pressure on a nerve.
Definitely not. So if someone experiences these symptoms, the numbness, tingling, shooting leg pain, what's the advice?
His advice is unequivocal. Don't ignore these signs. Address them early. He strongly recommends talking to your doctor or a healthcare provider.
Makes sense.
And they might discuss things like specific nerve gliding exercises, which are gentle movements designed to help the nerve move more freely.
Oh, okay.
Or they might recommend formal physical therapy to work on relieving that pressure and irritation.
This is so important. It helps people differentiate,
Yeah.
between maybe general muscle soreness and something potentially more serious involving nerves.
Exactly. It empowers you to know when it's really time to seek professional help rather than just hoping it goes away. Less overwhelm, more clarity.
Absolutely. Okay, and that brings us to the final mistake, number 5. Not taking breaks.
This might sound simple, maybe even obvious, but Dr. Kyoto highlights how impactful it really is.
How so?
Well, whether you're sitting for a long time or even standing in one spot for ages, or just doing any single activity for too long without a pause, it can all irritate the symptoms and lead to more pain.
It's that cumulative effect again, isn't it? Just staying in one position lets that pressure build up.
Precisely. Your body, especially your spine, really benefits from changes in position. It needs those opportunities to unload and reset, essentially.
So what's the recommendation for breaks? How often, how long?
Dr. Kyoto gives a really specific, manageable guideline. Try to stand up, walk around, or do a few gentle stretches about every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes. Okay, that's quite frequent.
It is, but it doesn't need to be a long break. Even just 60 seconds of moving around can interrupt that static loading pattern.
So just stand up from the desk, walk to get some water, maybe a quick stretch.
Exactly. Think about those discs. Again, prolonged compression isn't great. Short breaks allow them to decompress a little, maybe rehydrate slightly, reduce that built-up strain. It's a simple idea, but it works.
Yeah, I can see how even a quick walk around the room could stop things from getting really stiff and achy, especially after sitting.
It makes a surprising difference. It just reinforces that core principle.
Yeah.
Don't stay locked in one position for too long. Move frequently.
Simple, actionable, fits into any day. Love it.
It's about consistency.
Okay, so there we have them. The 5 key mistakes Dr. Kyoto warns against, things that can unknowingly make a herniated disc feel worse. Let's recap quickly.
Sure. Number 1 was sitting with bad posture.
Right. Number 2, avoiding movement just because there's pain.
Number 3, doing the wrong kinds of exercises.
4, ignoring those major warning signs like numbness or leg pain.
And finally, number 5, not taking frequent breaks from static positions.
It's a great list. Very practical.
And Dr. Kyoto's key message really is one of encouragement. He stresses that small, consistent steps and adjustments are what lead to recovery and better management.
It's not about massive, sudden changes.
No, it's about gradually weaving these better habits into your daily life.
Which leads us perfectly into our final thought for you listening. Take a moment and reflect on these 5 mistakes.
Yeah, think honestly.
Is there one, maybe even more than one, that resonates? Something you might be doing without realizing its impact.
And then consider this. What if making just a small adjustment, maybe focusing on your posture when you sit today, or setting a timer for breaks, or choosing a walk instead of sit-ups?
Right, just one small change.
How might that shift things for you? Could those small, consistent actions adding up over time lead to feeling noticeably better? Less pain, more control?
It really makes you think about the power of those small adjustments for long-term spinal health, doesn't it? Definitely something worth considering.